welcome to Rolling Escapades, Season 2, Session 0, Number 1. This is a quick little way to introduce all of the new characters. Like we did for the original Rolling Escapades, we did a couple of questions back and forth like an interview. But we weren't a fan of that method. It worked at the time, but we didn't really like it. So we're doing this instead. Essentially, I have taken each of the backstories that the players have given me for their characters, and I have chosen a section or two from their backstory and written a session 0 for them to run through the backstory. Obviously, this does mean they have an idea of what's going to happen, but every single story has a little bit of a twist that I haven't put in. They don't yet know their character is aware of. This is the first.
Only go well.
It can only go well. It's perfect. This is the first of. There will be a total of 7 session 0s, one for each of the 7 characters we have for the start, and there will be 3 mission session 0s, 3 like mini get actual use of the characters interacting with each other. Those will be explained as and when they come out. For the background behind that, there is background behind that, but the background is unimportant for this particular one. I'm just filling the gaps. So yes, this is the first episode of Rolling Escapades, Season 2. We are still sponsored by Destai, because Destai are amazing.
We love you.
We do love Destai. Fine makers of awesome Viking metal chainmail goodies, stuff like cool little key rings and dice bags. And I would show you rings, but I don't have any Destai key rings on, so I also don't own any, but I will at some point.
Because they're super cool.
They are super cool. There's a whole bunch of things. She's a wonderful person. She does custom orders as well. If you go and check out the description, you can find a link to her website and you can browse the various wares. You will also find in the link in the description a link to our sort of artist for this campaign. He is currently drawing concept art for each of the characters. I don't yet have them, but we will have those images for the first session, which is when we'll actually probably be able to show you what everyone looks like. It's Christopher Revan, I believe, or Rouse. I can't fully remember the name. It's Christopher. There's a link there. He does some pretty sweet stuff. His drawings are amazing, and he is the author of Izzy's Most Used Airships on DM's Guild.
Oh, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. It's a really cool little book. It's not very expensive. It's just a nice little PDF that gives you like 6 or 7 airships, stats for them.
That's
sort
really
of,
cool.
yeah.
Really cool.
There's some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. And it gives you Izzy, the airship vendor, which is amazing. And he has another book out actually, which came out earlier this year, which is about aerial combat.
Yeah, I remember reading that one.
Yeah,
that was good.
I haven't looked into that one yet, but gives additional rules for having airship aerial combats, which is pretty sweet because nothing like that currently exists in 5th edition. But yes, link there. You can go and check that all out. And if you are tuning in to this for the first time, welcome to our channel of FURN Gaming. Hopefully this season will be mostly tech issue-less.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But I would recommend going and watching the other 2 series we have done. Rolling Escapades Season 1, which was the Storm King's Thunder campaign, and Doom to Dice, which was the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. At this point they are both finished. And you will also be able to find sort of Rolling Escapades Season 1.5, where we played Dark Heresy for a few weeks, which also is going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to that. But yeah, so if you're brand new, thank you for tuning in. Like, comment,
welcome.
subscribe. Go look at our Facebook and our Twitter and our Instagram. There's all sorts of weird stuff on there.
Especially the Instagram. Get some weird stuff.
The Instagram does have some weird stuff. Instagram recently, as of today, by the time this video goes out, it will be hidden quite a lot, but fire went up. But yes, that is my intro spiel. So, coming into what is actually happening. Eldaran.
Hello.
You are a human paladin.
Oh yeah.
You are at this point, 4th level. Paladin of. It's fine.
I was gonna say.
It's fine. Yeah, I know. It's fine. Paladin of Redemption, and you are a follower of Eldath, the goddess of peace.
Yes.
So you are, in essence, a warrior of peace. Today's a big day for you. You are in your finest suit. You are standing inside the temple of Eldath that exists within your hometown. You are standing quite near the front of this temple, next to the waterfall that the temples of Eldath would always have, with their crystal blue water. It's not heavy, it's a very light trickle, sort of splashing, but it's lighter than it should be considering the size of the waterfall, but it's a pleasant sort of passing water into the pool. Before you is a fair few aisles and pews with people sitting and watching, also in mostly their best gear, looking up towards you. Beside you is your father, who, you've just been looking around, paying attention, looks over to you, puts his arm around your shoulders. How you feeling, son? Ready for this?
I'm actually quite nervous.
Yep.
God, I'm gonna fuck the accent up.
Do an accent, and then that is the accent.
Bollocks. I can't do it. Yeah, so he does that, and I will take a deep breath. I think so.
You'll be fine. She's wonderful, and we need a celebration now. It distracts from the war.
Any distraction is good at this point. Yes.
Cool. There is sort of light muttering through the pews. No one's, there's some people looking forward and people glancing back, but nothing's really happening. We're just waiting. But there is at that moment just a silence just falls across the temple. And you watch as from the back of the back entrance, the priestess of Eldath walks up the aisle towards you, walks to the front to where past you to where the waterfall is, sort of briefly closes her eyes, murmurs a prayer under her breath, before turning back towards you. Looking up you and saying, "Are you prepared, my lord?"
I am.
Perfect. The goddess watches over us now. Your dad nods to you, claps you on the shoulder again, and sits down. And there's a brief pause, and then some soft, low music sort of just fills the chamber. Doesn't really have a source. It just sort of is there. Yeah, it rises like water, and just fills the chamber. As that happens, all of the people sitting stand up. A lot of heads turn, and you watch as from the back of the chamber through the double doors walks Lorette, your bride, and she has a veil over her face, so you can't quite see her face, but the dress is stunning. It is a sky blue dress with silver trims and silver patternings across the dress. And the what's it called? Train has been created in such a way that it looks like a waterfall flowing down her back.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That's seriously cool.
And there is
dress.
it is, and across the front, the silver trim and patterning sort of creates a forest with like a fox sitting at the edge of it. And she slowly walks down the aisle towards you. And as she reaches to where you are, she holds out both her hands towards you.
As she's walking down, I'm just massive smile.
Yep.
And then take her hands.
She grasps hands and you turn sideways as you do.
Mm-hmm.
The priestess steps forward and sort of gently lifts the veil. And Lorette has been beautiful to you since you've met.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason you fell for her. You know, amongst one of them is her appearance. She is glowing right now, and
like literally.
there's
because in this game that's a weird thing.
Yeah. It's like that really happy. She's really happy. There is just a glow to her skin. Her lights, her eyes are lit up, and there are little waterfalls painted on both her cheeks.
That's cool.
And she is smiling up at you. And the priestess sort of, after moving the veil, steps back, raises her arms. Welcome all. We have gathered today to witness the union of Lorette Silverkin and Eldaran Skylark, beneath the gaze of Eldath, goddess of peace and blesser of our waters. They have chosen to take a sacred oath, a vow to each other and to each other's families, to cherish what they have and will have, to be honest and truthful, and to always do what is necessary to maintain the peace between themselves. They have each written their own vows, as is customary, and we shall lead with Lorette, she who is giving up the name of her family and stepping into the family of Skylark. Lorette, if you will. And she does a little nervous shake, breathe in, closes her eyes a bit before looks up into your eyes, and holding your hands. And from memory, she's from memory. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, she spent time rehearsing them.
Yeah.
We have not.
Yes. Eldaran Skylark, I, Lorette Silverkin, do today show my unconditional love for you. Before something broke in the background, there's some movement at the back of the temple until people leave. Before our friends and family as witnesses, my promise to stay by your side through all things good and evil, and my desire to grow as an individual, a couple, and a family. I do so willingly, with no malcontent, so as to bind my future to yours as your lawfully wedded wife. The priestess, with these vows, Lorette Silverkin has expressed her love for Eldaran and steps forward into the light of marriage. Eldaran, my lord, it is your turn.
So yeah, I do basically the same thing.
Yeah.
I, Eldaran Skylark, promise to stand beside you, Loretta Silverkin, and protect you for as long as I may live. Through all hardships and perils, our love will bind us, protect us from all evils. You are my rock, my guiding star, my better half.
With these vows, Eldaran Skylark has expressed his love for Lorette and steps forward into the light of marriage. She moves out of the way. Can you both please step forward into the waterfall?
Holding hands still, or do you break hands?
You can turn, hold one hand, yeah. As you start walking at this moment, there is a sudden beam of light from nothing.
I was going to say, isn't this building solid?
Yeah, there's just this. It sort of emanates from the waterfall, and whilst it does encompass both of you, it is mainly focused on you. And through sort of just around the temple, nowhere in particular, a very soft voice says, I bless this marriage. And know, Eldaran, I am watching you. And then the light just... the priestess sort of looks around a little bit confused.
Just a little like catch Lorette's eye. Just feel like that definitely happened.
Mm-hmm. There are like slight murmurs around you. You've attended weddings before. That's not normal. That's a bit strange. And the priestess like has halted slightly, but fair enough, and carries on going.
God's
and she steps out onto the water, but she walks on the water. She doesn't break its surface. And she turns towards you. She sort of walks past where the waterfall is. You and Lorette, still holding hands, walk in to the pool, and you walk through the water, disturbing the surface, and cross across to where the waterfall is and stand beneath the water, which you've never really... The waterfall's always been there whenever you've prayed, but it is only on certain occasions that people actually go beneath the waters. And this is your first time going beneath the waters of the waterfall. And it is light. It's really light. You know that waterfalls is a lot of energy pushing down. You don't feel any sort of like buckling to your back. It is extremely easy just to stand upright. There's even the point you could probably, if you wanted to, jump, and the water wouldn't stop you. It would just part, which is interesting.
Magic, yo.
Yeah. You're aware that Lorette is also of a similar like.
Huh.
That's really weird. More breaking. They're fixing.
Fuck those plates.
Yeah, I mean, someone just broke a stack of plates, unfortunately. Yeah, you are both getting like wet, but the thing you do notice is that the waterfalls aren't leaving her face, and the veil isn't sticking to her. It's very weird. There's something. The quality of this water is not water. It doesn't fit properly.
It doesn't physics.
Yes, this water does not make sense. There's also, as you're standing in it and looking around, like the pool doesn't go anywhere, and the waterfall doesn't come from anywhere. So how the hell does this work? It's just there. But yeah, cool. Just weird. You step into the waterfall, and the priestess moves back up behind you. With the blessing of those witnessing, and now, additionally, for the first time I have seen, the blessing of our goddess, Eldath, I add my own blessing to these waters. And she sprinkles some powdered silver across through the waterfall, and through the pool. And it sort of just sprinkles. So the stuff in the waterfall just sort of stays where it's sprinkled. It doesn't move.
This is the weirdest fucking
I know.
water ever.
It's very strange.
What?
And the stuff in the water is sprinkled sort of in an U around you, and it's not being pushed out from where the waterfall is hitting and the ripples are going out. With these blessings and the cleansing of the water, I now announce you wife and husband. Arise, Lorette and Eldaran Skylark, bound as one. And as you step up and move, that's when the silver across you. And you gain the benefits of ceremony for 24 hours, but whatever.
Yay, my AC is 20.
For 24 hours, yeah. And you step forward out of the water onto the surface. And as you step onto the surface, you're both immediately aware you are dry. Like, immediately.
Weirdest water ever.
Yeah. But you are both now, that silver powdered silver has sort of sprinkled across your body. So you're both now like glistening in places. It's like glitter, but it's not irritating. It's really like it's not really obvious. It's a very subtle glitter across everything. And the priestess marches you onto the front and turns, Eldaran, you may kiss your bride.
I sort of nod my head a little bit to her and do the thing.
Do the kissing. The various guests all stand up, applause, and you and Lorette, happy together, walk out. And as you leave the chamber, we fade from that scene. And we go forward in time.
You've made the weirdest fucking water. What the hell?
Reasons and things.
Reasons and things. You can do anything in a world with magic.
Yeah. When you create your own world, you do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason your family chose to settle there.
Yeah. It might have something to do with it.
Cool. So, we're going forward, I think about 4 years. I want to say.
Yes.
Because that was in, then it was 5, and then it was 3, yeah, so 8. Yeah, about 4 years forward in time. You are standing in the hallway that runs up to yours and Lorette's room. There is, it is a east-facing hall, and the hallway ends in a window looking out towards the east, across the continent of Vivanel. Your bedroom door is shut, and you, your sister Corliss, and your mother Abby are all standing outside the bedroom door. Your wife, Lorette, the priestess of Eldath, and 3 acolytes are inside the room. Anywhere in particular you'd like to be standing?
I think I'm gonna pace.
You're pacing, yeah. That's what I thought. You're pacing up and down. Your sister is sort of leaning against the wall between the window and your bedroom wall, and your mother is sort of nervously standing by the door.
Yes.
You start hearing from inside the room the screams of pain that are associated with childbirth.
Stop. Look.
Yeah.
Keep pacing.
Yeah. Your mother sort of, it's going well. It's going well. This is normal.
Good.
Your sister sort of just keeps looking out, keeps glancing back, and just whenever you're pacing back towards her, she makes eye contact and smiles. Just they're both there as moral support. They are both there to keep you calm, as well as interest more than anything. This will be, I think this is your mother's 3rd grandchild, and it will be your sister's 3rd niece or nephew. Yeah, and your sister is yet to have a child at this point. But the screams of pain continue. There is a brief moment of silence. One of the acolytes sort of opens the door, closes the door, and runs off.
Stop.
Very quickly, yeah. They come back a few moments later, just with a bowl of water and a rag, or a cloth, not a rag.
Yeah.
So a cooling cloth, as it were, and sort of nods to you. It's fine. It's all good. We just needed more water.
Yeah, very well. Okay.
Opens the door, shuts it behind, and heads on in. Is at this moment that Corliss, sort of back looking out the window, sort of starts a little bit. Looks like, and is like she probably like pulls back from the window in shock. There's an obvious like scraping sound as she moves across the wall, and you sort of look up to her, and it's weird because it's sort of like late afternoon. The sun is setting. You'd expect sort of not setting, but you expect like normal light at this point. But Goddess is sort of just like a pink glow of light,
or through the window.
Through the window, there's this like weird pink glow.
The sun is on the wrong side.
It's not the sun.
Yeah.
As Corliss sort of looks out at it and just sort of looks at you and goes,
I stop, quizzical, step up.
So you look out the window.
What?
And you look out. And you notice humans have built a fair few forts across stuff. There was a fort sort of, I want to say it's like 3 or 4 days travel, like almost directly east from you.
Yeah.
By one of the many rivers that run through this continent. There are a lot of rivers, yeah. When you look in that direction, you look directly east, you can see this like large like pink purple cloud that's sort of just like pulsing into the air, almost like a pink purple mushroom cloud type of thing.
Like
but it's got like these weird like silver sparkles sort of just sparking in it. And you look that way. You've spent a lot of time at this window. It's a window next to your bedroom. You have a good sense of how far away that fort is. You're pretty certain whatever that cloud is, it's encompassed that fort in its entirety. And then some.
And then some.
Like, it's quite far away from you, but it is just this.
Okay. It's a magical effect of some sort. Is it half guess?
It looks like magic.
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't look normal.
No.
But you've never seen anything like that ever. And neither is your sister, and neither is your mother.
Right, what I'm going to do is stay here. I'll be back. I'm going to go down, find one of the guards, get them like a scout party together to go over and what's going on.
Find out what's going on.
Or if there's a mage in town that can
Yeah.
teleport nearby, just to speed things
That's
up.
fine. Yeah. So you can. I mean, you actually don't have to really leave the corridor. There are
someone
going to
around.
be people at the end of the corridor. You'll get to the end, and there'll be a group of people like nervously waiting to see the announcement of the new baby lord. So they hurried off. They start putting together a scouting company. You are aware as you sort of pass down the end of the corridor, the screams stop. And you get to the end, you start talking to people, and you hear the sounds of crying child from behind you.
So I'll relay those instructions to them, and I just spin on my heel and
Belt your way back.
semi-run down the hall.
As you're making your way down the door, down the hall, your mother and your sister have sort of got closer to the door. They haven't crowded around it. They're leaving space for you to go in and enter. But the door opens before you get there. And the priestess is standing there, holding various rags wrapped around a bundle. She looks a little white, a little off-put.
It's never a good start.
Yeah. And she sort of looks down at the child, looks up at you and goes, "It's a boy, but..." And she leans it forward, and the eyes are open. And they are a bright, deep magenta.
Oh, wow.
As you pick him up and sort of take him, there's like it's really weird. It's like a spark just through the air.
Is it the same colour as the cloud?
It's a very similar colour, yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is,
that's
isn't
so
it?
weird. What are you doing?
I'm doing things.
Yeah, you are. Stop.
But yeah, as you take it, like the one of the hands sort of reaches out, and like this little spark just out of the hand, just briefly, doesn't do anything, just very brief, purple spark.
Well, that's different. How is she?
She is fine. I was.
Good.
No, that's new.
It's new to me as well.
Yeah. You hear faint calling from Lorette from inside the room. You
Step back in with.
Yeah, and head over. She's also a little off put, but you have a baby boy.
Yeah.
Priestess steps back and what is his name?
I'm like, I knew I was going to need that spreadsheet. I knew it. There.
All the way at the bottom right.
Ah, yes. I was looking at the wrong. I have a spreadsheet that does the family history.
Yep.
Orlan. That was it.
Cool.
I sort of look to Lorette and then back to the priestess, and his name will be Orlan.
And she, from the water that's around, sort of reaches in and like dabs a waterfall across his forehead. Orlan it is. The baby is healthy, apart from the strangeness. I guess that will reveal itself as time goes on, and Lorette is fine. Me and my acolytes will retire for the time being and leave you to each other's company.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Congratulations, my lord.
Thank you.
And the four of them leave and back out. Your mother and sister are sort of hovering at the door. They also saw.
Yeah.
They're also a bit like, what?
I shoot the door open. Like, come,
Yeah.
come.
They'll come in and you'll sit around and Loretta will cover and you'll sit there happy about the fact you have a wonderful baby boy who has deep magenta eyes. And that is where we are going to end your session 0.
I hope that one comes out soon. I'm interested by this.
That's fine. I have some information to give you on what that means, but that is to give you at a later point. That is not for, unfortunately, you guys to know. That is to appear as time goes on.
We will uncover it together.
There we go. That was all of that.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
And I didn't even have to roll the dice.
No, I said there was
Maybe,
a chance.
Yeah.
It was the only time I could think of you might roll a dice is the cloud.
Yeah.
That's literally it, was the cloud. I look forward to when you find out what the cloud is.
So do I. Half a guess.
It's not going to take long for you guys to find out.
No.
It really doesn't. To be fair, it's not going to take long for you guys to find out either, because I believe it is the next episode. It is the next session 0
it is what I thought it was.
Yeah, mostly reveals what that is. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the beginning of Rolling Escapades Season 2. And do stay tuned for the rest of it. We have 6 more like that to go through and 3 missions. Thank you very much, and goodbye.